Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Salena. Today, you guys, I'm doing a quick video. I just want to do a video like so you guys can get to know me and stuff like that. Tell you guys a little bit of stuff about myself. Just so you guys can get to know me. But before we get in the video, make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and drop a comment down below if you guys have any suggestions or ideas that you guys would like to see me and Alyliah do. Just leave some comments down below and let us know, or also leave us a comment down below if you guys want to get shout out in our next video. So I'm gonna just give like a quick brief summary story about myself. I'm not gonna get into much details because I did do like, hold on, let me try to like make like a tripod thingy so I don't gotta hold the phone. So I did do a bunch of like story times on my YouTube channels where like I basically broke down each like thing that I could remember in my life, like to like descriptions and stuff like that, like descriptive and stuff. If you want, you can watch those videos. You just gotta go scroll down till you see all like the story times and all the car chats and stuff that I did about myself, and those are like more into detail. But this is like a quick summary so you guys can get to know me, because I do notice that I am getting a little bit more subscribers. So I'm kind of doing this video just so you guys can like get to know me real quick, in case you guys haven't watched those videos, and then maybe it'll make you want to go watch those videos so you guys can get a little bit more details about the stuff that I'm about to say now. So basically, my name is Salena, in case you guys haven't know already. My name is Salena. I'm 31 years old. My birthday is in July. I am a Cancer. I have 2 younger sisters and an older brother. Me and my brother has his own dad, and then me and my sisters have our own dad. So my mom had 2 baby daddies basically, and we was born in Albany, and then our mom moved us to Schenectady, which is another town over in upstate New York. So it's like Albany, Troy, Schenectady, you know, Cohoes, Rensselaer, whatever. Those are all the little small towns that are in upstate New York. And we were moved from Albany to Schenectady, where we were then raised there with my mom and her ex-husband, who's no longer alive. They raised us out there. Me and my sisters went to school in Schenectady, basically elementary school, middle school, and some of high school. When we went to school, me and my sisters got bullied. Me and my sisters also got abused by my mom's ex-husband or stepdad, whatever you want to call him. He abused me and my sisters. I don't want to get into much details about that stuff because, you know, that stuff is over. If you want a little bit more details about how he got abused, you could always email me and ask me some questions, and I wouldn't mind answering them. My email address is always down in the description box down below. So yeah, we basically got abused by my stepdad, and I don't know how we ended up getting moved back to Albany, but we ended up moving back to Albany with my mom and my mom's ex-husband, stepdad, whatever you want to call him. And we lived in Albany again for a couple of years, and then we moved back to Schenectady again in the same house that we were already in with him when she first met him. And like around 13 years old is when he, you know, decided to abuse me, like a little bit more than what he was already abused. Like he used to physically abuse me and my sisters because he was an alcoholic. And then when I was like 13, he ended up sexually molesting me, and he did it for like a whole year. And he used to brainwash me not to tell on him because he was scared that he was gonna get in trouble, and he was scared that he was gonna go to jail. So he used to tell me not to tell on him and stuff like that. So I just kept it to myself. And one day, like, I came home from school early because I had gotten in trouble. And like, he used to discipline us when we used to get in trouble at school. And when I came home from school that day, he pulled me by my like shirt or hair or whatever, and he pushed me into a dresser, and the dresser hit me right here in the corner of my chest, and he really hurt me really bad. And I ended up crying and telling him what? It's right here, but my water is in here, so don't take the water out first. Put these in here. Here, you do this and go finish playing while I finish doing my story time video. Go, because you're not allowed to hear this stuff. Go play. Go play. Back up some more, because you're not allowed to hear the stuff what I'm talking about. There you go, right there. That's far enough. So basically he used to abuse me and stuff like that. And one time he hit me from getting in trouble at school, and I was like, when my mom comes home from work, I'm gonna tell her everything that you've been doing to me, and I'm gonna let her know how you've been touching me and stuff like that. And my mom came home from work, and I basically had to sit down and talk with her, and I told her everything that he was doing to me. And she ended up having an argument with him, and it was like a big thing or whatever. He tried to apologize to me. He told me to sit on his lap so he could say sorry to me about what he was doing to me, but he wasn't sincere. He was just saying that because he was scared he was gonna get in trouble. Mind you, while he was apologizing with his hand on my lap. So that's how I know he wasn't serious about being sorry. And my mom, like, I feel like she was super brainwashed. Like, maybe she wanted to be with him because she loved him, or maybe she was scared to be alone and scared to, like, pay bills by herself, or whatever the case may be. So she just stayed with him, and she just, hey, my chips are in that bag. Give me my book bag. Give me my book bag. Don't you jump on that. My chips are in there for later, for when we watch movies. Don't jump on that book bag again. I just heard my bag of chips pop. Give me them so I can put them over here next to me. Because you just popped my bag of chips. Hurry up. Bring me my bag of chips. Alyliah, bring me my bag of chips. You know what? She can have them. I'm not going to stop this video again because I already just tried to do this video the first time, and I had to end the video because she reached her hand and do it all over again. She reached her hand in front of the camera while I was talking to hand me a chip, and she stopped the video, and then I had to do it all over again because my phone is dumb. Like, when I try to record a video and try to edit and put them together, if the video clips are too long, it won't let me save the videos back to my phone. It'll say that I have too much storage on my phone. So I ended up having to delete the video that I just did, which was already at 12 minutes. I had to delete the video and do it all over again because she was reaching her hand in front of the phone to stop the video. Now she's over there with my bag of chips, jumping on my bag of chips that I wanted to eat later with my movie. Like, bro, I'm not ending the video. This is how real it is. Like, this is a real mommy and daughter situation. I'm not ending the video. This is some real stuff. Give me my bag of chips, because you just stomped on my bag of chips that I said I wanted to eat later with my movies. Like, why would you do that? You said you wanted to swing the bag, not stomp on it. You just popped my whole bag of chips. Take your chips and go. Go. Look at this. She just popped my bag of chips from stomping on the bag. Hurry up with that and go play so I can finish my video. Anyways, I've had her all summer, you guys, with no breaks. Her dad haven't even come get her, not once this summer. Like, I'm so fed up with her dad. It's not even funny. Like, I dead seriously had her the whole summer to myself, and he has not come to get her, not once. And, like, I really do need a break. Like, I really do need a little mental break because I've had her this whole summer. So anyways, so what was I saying? So basically my mom, like, I'm not gonna keep on talking about it because now she's sitting here, so y'all get the point. We got abused or whatever. My mom stuck with him because she wanted to be in love, or maybe because she was too weak-minded to leave him, or whatever the case may be. Maybe he used to brainwash her, who knows. My mom talked me and my sisters out of seeing my dad. She used to tell us he was a drug addict and that he was an alcoholic and all this other stuff, and that he wasn't able to take care of us and stuff like that. But me and my sisters didn't care what she was saying. All we knew that was our dad, and we loved him and we missed him, and then anything was better than being at home with her and her drunk ass husband. So she kept us from him. Well, my mom's boyfriend, husband, or whatever, he ended up convincing her to not let us go with him anymore. So we stopped going around him. And then when my mom used to take us to her sister's house to go babysit, for them to babysit us while she worked and stuff, her sister's kids and her sisters used to bully us and abuse us as well. They used to always find ways to hit us or stick us all in a freaking one bedroom with all each other so we could go play in a room while all the grown-ups were sitting out in the living room and kitchen and getting drunk and smoking and partying and turning up and all that other stuff. They used to stick us all in a room with our other cousins and our cousins, my older cousins that, like, yeah, one of my older cousins, I'm not gonna say both of them because it was just one of my older cousins used to have the other younger cousins like beat up me and my sisters and like bully us and stuff like that because it was like their favorites or whatever. I don't know what the fuck them people was up. Them people are weird, straight up. Like my mom's sisters and her kids are all weird, like dead ass. And they always used to say me and my sisters are weird, and used to always say there's something wrong with us. No, it's something wrong with y'all motherfuckers, because y'all was always trying to bully somebody, and y'all was always trying to pick on somebody, and y'all just was, they couldn't stand me and my sisters because me and my sisters were solo, and we were weird, and we were too hyper, or whatever the case may be. But they didn't know that we were going home to get bullied and abused. And I remember one time my mom's sister used to try to ask us, like, is your mom's boyfriend abusing you guys? Like, is he doing stuff to y'all? And my mom used to tell us not to say nothing. My mom dead ass used to tell us not to say nothing because she was scared that she was going to go to jail, or she was scared that we were going to get taken away and that we were going to end up living with them. She was like, oh, if CPS comes, you know, you're going to be stuck living with them. And the same way that they bully and abuse y'all now, while I'm at work, they're going to do that more, except ain't nobody going to be able to help you guys because they're going to take you guys away from me, and I'm not going to be able to see you guys no more. So I never used to, like, I tried, like, a couple of times I told, like, teachers and stuff like that, and we had a whole bunch of CPS cases when we were kids, but, like, I never actually told them, like, when it came time for them to press charges on him, I used to tell them, like, oh, I was lying, because my mom used to tell me to say that stuff. She used to tell me to tell them I was lying so that she wouldn't get in trouble or go to jail. So I used to end up telling them that I was lying. And I remember one time one of the cops or detectives used to be like, oh, if you keep lying and telling us stuff like that, you can go to jail for trying to get somebody in trouble, da da da. And I was like, yeah, I'm lying. Like, I was willing to go to jail just because my mom was telling me not to tell on her boyfriend. So anyways, long story short, that stuff is over. When I decided to drop out of school, I dropped out of high school at 9th grade because I was tired of getting bullied, tired of getting abused, tired of just like too much stuff going on back at home in Schenectady. And I ended up leaving to Job Corps in Vermont when I was 16 years old. And at 17, I ended up meeting, was it 16 or 17 that I ended up meeting my Angela's dad? It was one of those. I met him at Job Corps, and I fell in love with him. Like, I think that was my first, like, real, like, boyfriend, where I ended up leaving Job Corps and ended up living with him and stuff like that. Ended up having a kid by him. I did move him at one point back home with me to my mom's house with me and my sisters, and my mom didn't want him there anymore because, like, he was only there with us for like a couple months or so, and she ended up making him leave because he didn't find a job fast enough to take care of her. And she ended up making him leave and told him not to come back, and he went back home to Connecticut with his mom and stuff, where he ended up getting a job, and he's been working there ever since. He's been working there for like 12 years since Angela was conceived or whatever. And then I guess I lived in Connecticut with my daughter's dad and my oldest daughter Angela. I lived out there for like 2 years, and I was like naive, didn't believe in love, didn't know how to love. Like, it was just too much. We was always arguing, fighting, going back and forth. And then my mom used to always tell me, like, every time I used to call her, every time we got in an argument, I used to call her for advice, and instead she used to just tell me to leave him, because she obviously didn't know how to communicate herself, and she obviously didn't know how to have a relationship either herself, because it was like, why was I getting advice from her anyways? Like, now that I look back on it, it's like, why was I really looking to her for advice when she couldn't even give advice to her damn self? So anyways, I ended up moving back from Connecticut back home to Schenectady with my oldest daughter Angela. My mom told us my mom didn't like me, first of all, when I came back. My mom never liked me. I'm gonna get that out of there. I'm gonna get that off my chest. Like, I don't think my mom ever liked me when I was younger. She always had this weird animosity towards me. Maybe because it was like I looked like my dad. Maybe it was because I spoke up too much. Maybe it was because I ran my mouth too much. Like, whenever my mom used to try to correct me or something like that, if I felt like she was wrong about what she was saying, I would speak up for myself. I wasn't that type of kid that was just quiet all the time and let her talk or treat me any kind of way she felt like it. I was definitely that type of kid to talk back. I always used to talk back, and I always used to speak my mind, whether she liked it or not. Even though I knew I was going to get my ass whooped, I still spoke my mind, because I felt like, who are you to talk to me the way you feel like you're talking to me? Even though you're my mom and I'm your child, at the end of the day, like, there's still supposed to be a love and respect. And as a kid, I knew that, and she didn't, which was weird to me. But anyways, like, she used to be mean to me all the time. Like, when I came back from Connecticut with my daughter Angela, like, at first she was okay with me staying there, but then, like, me and my sisters were fighting too much, and my mom didn't really, like, she really didn't want me staying there because she said she didn't want to lose her Section 8 or whatever. So she ended up making me and my daughter leave to a shelter. Me and my daughter ended up going into a shelter, and then I found an apartment within like 2 weeks because her landlord ended up giving me an apartment, and my baby father ended up telling me to come back out there with him because he missed me. He wanted me to come back out there. So I ended up going back to Connecticut with Angela. And when I went back to Connecticut with Angela, I stayed with him and his mom with Angela, and him and his mom and basically his mom was being mad weird. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, his mom was being hella weird. Like, she would, I understand, like, I was staying in her house, and like, she felt the type of way because I kept on leaving her son to go back home and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like, she ain't know the type of person he was when he wasn't home with her, and like, she had her own shit going on. So I don't know why she was treating me the way she was treating me. Anyways, like, to this day, I wish I could sit down and have a conversation with her and ask her, like, why was you treating me the way you was treating me, and why you was doing the stuff that you was doing, just for some closure. Like, I really want to know some things, like, because I feel like I should do that story time a separate time. Like, she was really treating me like shit. Like she would fucking do weird shit, like turn off the power so I couldn't cook because she told me, because she was feeling like I was eating all her food. Or she would sit there and hide toilet paper because she felt like I was using all her tissue. Or she would sit there and hide dish soap because she felt like I was using all her dish soap. And it was like, yo, I don't have no job. I just came back out here with my daughter. Your son convinced me to leave the apartment that I just got for myself, for me and my kid. He told me to come back out here with him because he missing me. He was sorry. He wanted to work things out. I go back out there for y'all to be treating me like this? No, bitch. You got me fucked up. Like, I remember one time she sat there, like, she had this, like this glass, like, what's it called, china cabinet or whatever, and inside the cabinet she had a bunch of like little figurines. And I remember one time she stood at the china cabinet and counting all the figurines out loud, like 1 2 3 4 5, and the bitch was doing that because she thought I was stealing her stuff. So when I left to come back home, yes, bitch, I took 2 of them motherfuckers because I was going to go sell them. And then lucky for you, karma must have been really a bitch, because at that time when I stole your stuff, I ended up losing it in the bus station, trying to take out clothes for me and my daughter to change into when we switched to bus stations. But I don't have a problem with her now. Like, she'll comment on my video, no, not on my video, she'll comment on my posts and stuff like that, like my pictures, and say she wants me to come back and come cook for her and stuff like that. But you know, you can't go backwards, you can only move forward. So I ended up leaving again to come back out here. And when I came back out here, I ended up rekindling like this little fling that I had before I left to job court with Alyliah's dad. And I ended up getting in a relationship with Alyliah's dad, where me and him were together for 2 or 3 years or something like that. We ended up living together. Well, he was living with me because that was my apartment. My name was on that lease. He was living with me, Angela, and Alyliah. And that's another story. I don't want to get too much details with that, but that relationship didn't work out, basically because he didn't feel like, I don't know, he didn't want to be in a house with us. He wanted to be outside on the streets all day long and partying and turning up, and being outside with his friends was more important than being in a house. And then I started meeting friends, and then I ended up being outside with my friends, and he didn't like that. So it was just like too much. You need to run and go play on this part because you can't hear this stuff. Go that way in the shade. Go run in that direction in the shade, because I'm about to say stuff that you're not allowed to hear. So I ended up falling into a depression while I was with him, where I ended up self-medicating, and I was like depressed for mad long and stuff like that. I gave my life to Jesus in 2016, June 16, 2016. And then like right after I gave my life to Jesus is when I fell into my depression. It was like really weird. Like, I gave my life to Jesus and then I fell into a depression, ended up self-medicating for like 2 or 3 years. Angela, she ended up moving with her dad because she didn't want to live with me anymore, because she said she was scared of Alyliah's dad because he used to correct her and tell her to stay in a child's place. And basically she just went to go live with her dad. So she's living with him now. And then I had my youngest daughter, which is Alyliah, go live with her grandmother, which is her dad's mom, that is no longer alive. She died a couple months ago from coronavirus, or a year ago. Damn, it's been a year. It's been a year since she's been passed away. So yeah, she was living with her grandmother for like a year, 2 years or so like that, while I was fighting depression and stuff like that. Took very good care of her. And then I ended up losing my apartment in Schenectady. I was homeless for a little bit while I was fighting addiction and fighting depression and stuff like that, staying with a bunch of different people. Ended up meeting my girlfriend that I'm with now. She basically just helped me through my depression and helped me through my addiction. She was actually there for me. She understood everything that I went through and everything that I was going through, because at the time she was going through the same stuff as well. And yeah, we just basically been together ever since. We've been together for like 3 years now. There's some rocky times in our relationship, in the beginning of the relationship, that I'm not ready to talk about. I will talk about it eventually. I just don't know when the right time will be to talk about that stuff that happened in our relationship. Eventually I'm gonna talk about that stuff when it makes more sense to me. And basically, me and her lived together in Albany. First she took me to the city with her for like a month or so, which it felt like I was out there for like three months. But to her, she said we were only out there for a month. What?
I'm gonna clean up this park when there's a lot of garbage.
Okay, go play. So she took me with her to the city for a month, and basically I was out there selling my body. I was out there selling my body for money so I can buy stuff to feed my addiction and stuff like that. And then we ended up coming back out here to Albany, where we ended up living together in this apartment that we were just in, and we were fighting all the time in there. Like, crazy shit was going on in that apartment, and her excuse was it's because I was always on drugs and I was always tripping, but it doesn't explain half the shit that went down. Maybe one day me and her could do a video together about it. Who knows? I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, so I basically was just like, it was like sometimes I was happy with the relationship and sometimes I wasn't. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, like sometimes I'm happy with the relationship and sometimes I'm not. And it's because I just want more. Like, I want more out of it. I want more. Like, I want to have another kid. I want to get married. I want us to prosper together. I want us to build our own house together. I want us to have multiple businesses where we ain't even got to get up and go to work, that we just have people working and helping other families put food on their tables. And because we're doing that, we're just getting blessed for it. Like, I want so much more out of this relationship. And basically, I was in 3 different relationships. For the last 12, 13 years back to back. And I just felt like I needed a break. I felt like I've never spent any time by myself. I felt like I've always been in relationships back to back. And I felt like I just needed some time to myself to heal and time to like separate myself from relationships.